What inspired the digital and musical composition? Why these mediums?
Well, you know, I grew up in Los Angeles. I was inundated by all different kinds of music growing up. Not only classical, but whatever I heard on the radio. You know, if it was Michael Jackson or early Red Hot Chili Peppers, or jazz, old jazz, new jazz, and everything in between. You know, Beastie Boys. I mean, everything that was just really kind of dropping back when I was a kid. And not only that, but movies. I grew up in Los Angeles, and I worked in some movies when I was a kid. And I remember one time I got to miss a whole week of school to work on a movie. It was a John Williams and Steven Spielberg collaboration called Empire of the Sun. It's not really as much well known by him, but it's a fantastic movie. And it's got one of the most beautiful choral soundtracks in it. And I was actually singing on that. I was in a boys' choir. So what can I say, man? I just have all this stuff in my blood, and it's been really satisfying finding ways to integrate everything, to bring film and this digital vibe and just the things that we all live with from day to day. You know, it's kind of like a mixture of a concert, a movie, and Skyping your best friend, you know. So that's really kind of what was behind it in a way.
Some of the dancing seems so improvised. Was it, or was it all choreographed?
That's a really good question. For filming the dance films, Benjamin and I set out to. This is Benjamin Millepied, excellent choreographer. We worked together in Black Swan and in a couple of other projects before that with New York City Ballet. I've known him forever. He's a good friend, and he does work very improvisationally sometimes. He's got great instincts, though. He was directing and choreographing, and he had his iPod on his belt. He was constantly just playing the music in loop for whatever movement we were working on at that one moment. And there were some beautiful improvised moments in the filming. At one point, you know, for some of the films that you see, some of the films where you're watching the pianist play with a slow movement, we had a big crew, you know, 30 people working, and, you know, a dolly and a crane and everything to make the camera look really smooth. For the shoot with Benjamin, it was basically 5 people. And I was doing everything from playing the violin to like going and grabbing coffee for everybody. And so at one point, Benjamin was like, he turned to the director of photography who was holding the camera. He said, "Hey, get up on my shoulders." And she's this tiny, like, you know, 100-pound little thing. And she climbed right up on his shoulders, and he was swerving around. And I think there might be a picture up on my Facebook page of that. It was quite a little moment. So to answer your question, yes, some of it was improvised. Some of it was, we changed it in the editing room to make it flow even better with the music. But all of it was directly inspired, and some of it even timed exactly to go with the music. As you can see, the pieces are quite exactly scripted, the beginnings and ends at least. And the question was, how does one transition between these different emotive qualities, or these different emotions, from this very dark and passionate quality to a much lighter, much more friendly, more fun atmosphere? And I mean, in this particular case, I have the interlude. I have the spoken word interlude for 3 or 4 minutes to kind of get myself back into the next character. I did that on purpose, actually, because not only does it give me a chance to sort of just, you know, flush my system out and just kind of get ready for the next thing, but I also, you know, I'm listening to the words, and we chose selections that bring, hopefully, ideally, bring you as well as me into the new character. So, you know, I mean, I should say we, because I worked very intensely with my director, Kate Hackett, who really supervised the whole project. The two of us often fighting, sometimes agreeing, but I think we're both incredibly happy with the way it all turned out. And of course, this show has just an enormous cast of characters, way bigger than anything I'd ever tried to put together before. I mean, you know, close to 100 people who really gave their blood and sweat for this project to different degrees, from the filming crew to my musical collaborators who were on screen, the composers who wrote all these pieces, the New York film crew, the Omaha film crew, the LA film crew, you know, the Lincoln, Nebraska crew. I mean, there were just countless people who really made this a true collaborative project. You know, I might be the only person on stage, but that doesn't mean that this isn't a big-time collaborative project. And not to mention, when we take it somewhere, every time it's a little bit different. And so, you know, the crew here becomes as much of a collaborator as anybody else who worked on the pre-production of the show. So I'd love to give one more big hand to everybody who worked here on Portals, and to all of you for coming. Thank you so much.